Welcome to the He's Got Issues DC Comics Edition number 167.2. I'm John Cooney here to preview new DC Comics being released April 1st, 2015, beginning alphabetically with Arkham Manor Endgame number 1 one-shot. What do Batman's villains do on the craziest night in Gotham City? And who will survive when the madness of Arkham Manor spills into the streets? Next, we have Batman and Robin Annual number 3. After a year that included death, resurrection, and battles with the forces of Apocalypse, it's time for Batman and Robin to get back to basics, both as father and son and partners in crime fighting. But have the events of the past year left too great a rift for them to bounce back from? We've also got Batman Eternal number 52. This month in Batman Eternal, the epic Bat story over a year in the making comes to a stunning end. Gotham City in flames, villains are running wild in the streets, Bat Tech has been corrupted, and the mastermind behind it all has put a knife in Batman's ribs. How will the Dark Knight put an end to this nightmare, and how will it shape the face of Gotham City to come? Next, we have Batman Superman Annual number 2. Superman and Batman have defeated the menace that was targeting the Man of Steel for months, but not before he set something deadly in motion. Their greatest foes have been given the means to kill Clark Kent, and for Clark, time is running out. We've also got Batwoman Annual number 2. How did Batwoman find herself in space fighting Morgan Le Fay? How did she find herself accompanied by allies as strange as Clayface, Ragman, Etrigan, the Demon, and her own sinister sister, Red Alice? All the answers are here in the final chapter of the Unknown's saga. Next, we have Convergence number 0. Where do worlds go when they die? The earthquakes felt round the multiverse, Superman's last days after Doomed, the world's end. All these points will converge as the history of the DCU is spun from a new perspective. The perspective of a mad god and his arrogant child. The biggest story in DC history ties into literally every DC story ever told, and it all begins here. Kingdom Come, Red Sun, Wild West, Justice League, Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew, all the worlds you remember can still be found on Telos. Everything matters. Every story matters. Don't miss the start of DC's April-May 2015 event with this special issue. DC co-publisher Dan DiDio described the Convergence event in a video.
This is Convergence. There was a great expression from Crisis on Infinite Earths. Worlds live, worlds die, and nothing will ever be the same. Well, here in Convergence, we're going to follow the worlds that died. Follow them to the edge of the multiverse, where they have a chance for resurrection under the watchful eye of our greatest villain, Brainiac. This is the ultimate Brainiac, who steals cities at the moments of their destruction and places them under large domes and brings them to a planet outside of time and space where he can experiment on them. The heroes of the cities don't realize they're part of some grand experiment. All they know, they've been trapped under a dome for about a year, and they're all desperately trying to find a way to escape. Some of our heroes are trying to maintain order, but all of our heroes have lost their powers, and because of that, some of our heroes have just decided to quit. The reason behind Brainiac's actions is one of the true mysteries of the Convergence story. And the answer to that question will shock every generation of DC fan. At the beginning of the story, Brainiac disappears, and the void that Brainiac leaves is filled by the planet incarnate, Telos, a new villain we're introducing to the DC universe. He understands Brainiac's needs, he understands Brainiac's motivations, but he has a different plan. And he drops all the domes simultaneously and puts every city in conflict with the other. The result is a story about characters struggling for survival in a fight that will impact the entire future of the DC multiverse. And you'll see ripples from the story moving out in the very next month in some of the new series we're introducing in June, and more importantly, there'll be stories we'll be playing out for the years to come. Here with Convergence, we get a chance to revisit those characters that were left unresolved and tell that one last great story with them. We have the birth of Superman and Lois Lane's child. We have the resolution to Renee Montoya's question. We see some of the craziest battles ever assembled in DC Comics take place in this series. We get a chance to see Wonder Woman battling Joker Vampire. And more importantly, and most excitingly, Harley Quinn versus Captain Carrot. We brought some of the most classic talent back to the series that made them popular and brought them together with some of the hottest new talent of today. Len Wein returns to the character he created in Swamp Thing, working with Kelly Jones. And Dan Jurgens returns to the character that he killed, Superman. These are the things that we're excited about, and we want you to be excited about too. This is an event not to be missed.
We've also got Earth 2 World's End number 26. Darkseid wins. All hail Darkseid. Next we have Flash Season 0 number 7. It's the Flash versus King Shark. Can Barry save his friends and himself from this terrifying death machine? We've also got Gotham Academy Endgame number 1 one-shot. Gotham City has been overrun by craziness and the power is out at Gotham Academy, but don't worry, the kids are safely locked up, huddled around candles and flashlights and telling the Gotham City version of ghost stories, Joker stories. Meanwhile, a mysterious figure connected to the Academy's past is patrolling the grounds with a crossbow, but who is it? Next, we have Harley Quinn number 16. Not a dream, not a hoax, not a, an imaginary story. This is where everything changes for Harley Quinn for more than forever. Introducing the Gang of Harleys. We've also got Hinterkind number 17. The West Coast burns as the Samaria and her skindling army bring war to the city. With the Silver City under siege, it falls to the seer Queen Talish and her treacherous daughter Tercia to hold the line while John Hobb, Prosper Money, and the unlikely band of compatriots seek an audience with the sleeping dragon, the city's only salvation. The question is, when they wake him, whose side will he be on? Next, we have Looney Tunes number 224. Catching a train is one thing, but it's another thing entirely when a new subway line plows a tunnel straight through Bugs' underground living room. Bugs tries to talk to construction crew foreman Yosemite Sam about the wreck and gets blasted with TNT instead. Of course, you know, this means war. We've also got The Names number 8 of 9. Becoming more embroiled in the strange organization known as The Names, Katya is handed over to the psychopathic Tara, and her genius stepson Philip is too engrossed in the mystery of the dark loops to save her. Evil alien machinations, the brutal murder of innocents, an unexpected liaison, and a strange seduction all await in the penultimate episode of The Names. Next, we have New 52, Future's End number 48. I Am Your Future. We've also got Sinestro Annual number 1. A traitor lurks among the Sinestro Corps, and only by delving into the never-before-revealed origins of the team can Sinestro learn the truth before his head ends up on a platter. Next, we have Superman Wonder Woman number 17. It's a bloody showdown as Circe and Magog attack the power couple, and the outcome will bring about a major change in Kal and Diana's relationship. We've also got Teen Titans Annual number 1. The Titans deal with Superboy's return to the team and the trail of destruction that he's left in his wake. Next, we have Wolf Moon number 5 of 6. How did Case transition from loving wife and mother to monster hunter? As she and Dylan head to West Virginia to confront the wolf, memories of the night that changed her life forever flood her mind, while Dylan's resolve to kill the wolf is strengthened as he vows for his vengeance. Elsewhere, the murderer who has been butchering the wolf's hosts is determined to see his work through to its bloody conclusion and embarks on a sinister endgame. And we've got Wonder Woman number 40. It's the penultimate chapter of the series-altering first arc by the new creative team of writer Meredith Finch and penciler David Finch as Wonder Woman faces a challenger to her throne created solely to defeat her. But how can Diana stop a foe whose every strength is matched to her every weakness? Out in trades this week, we've got Absolute Green Arrow by Kevin Smith hardcover. In these tales from issues 1 through 15, Green Arrow is back from the dead, leading the Dark Knight to investigate his mysterious return, while a silent killer targets costume vigilantes. Next, we have DC Comics 0-year trade paperback. 6 years ago, Gotham City weathered its greatest test as the Riddler shut down all power days before a terrifying superstorm. But the Dark Knight isn't the only hero to surface during this moment in time known as the 0 year. Journey back to the 0 year to see the early tales of DC's greatest heroes and heroines. Collects Batman 24 and 25, Detective Comics 25, Batgirl 25, Batwing 25, Batwoman 25, Birds of Prey 25, Catwoman 25, The Flash 25, Green Arrow 25, Green Lantern Corps 25, Nightwing 25, Red Hood and the Outlaws 25, and Action Comics 25. We've also got Flash, A Celebration of 75 Years hardcover. The Flash, A Celebration of 75 Years collects a wide range of stories featuring the Scarlet Speedster from his 7 decades as the mainstay in the DC Comics universe. From the original Flash, Jay Garrick, to his successors Barry Allen and Wally West, the mantle of this beloved hero has made him burst beyond the printed page into a pop culture symbol. This anthology collects stories by legendary writers including Gardner Fox, John Broome, and Jeff Johns. Next, we have New Teen Titans Volume 2 trade paperback. The team must stop the puppeteer from stealing plans for the deadly Prometheum project from Dayton Industries, unaware that Deathstroke is also after them, and after arriving on Paradise Island to save an injured changeling, they must help the Amazons battle the Titans of Myth. Collects New Teen Titans number 9 through 16. We've also got Wonder Woman Volume 5 Flesh trade paperback. Wonder Woman's life has changed when she is called on to take the place of war. In these stories, Diana must decide if this path is one she wants to take, but there's no time to consider the fallout as her family prepares for an assault on Olympus. Collects Wonder Woman number 24 through 29 and Wonder Woman 23.2 Firstborn. And we've got Wonder Woman Volume 6 Bones hardcover. In this final Wonder Woman volume by Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chiang, Olympus must fall and its rightful ruler must be restored. Wonder Woman is locked in a desperate battle with the Firstborn with the destiny of immortals at stake in these stories from Wonder Woman number 30 through 35 and a story from Secret Origins number 6. Okay, so that's it for DC this week, but of course there's still plenty of other books out this week too, so be sure to check out my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com to see both the Marvel and Indies videos for this week, as well as my featured video with the usual roundup of all my favorites for the week with a little more depth and insight than you get here. And if you like these videos, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment and subscribing. You can also follow He's Got Issues on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, and Instagram to see everything I'm reading as I read it. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.